Laddies and gentlemen, hear me when I tell you this. Sometimes in life, you will be knocked down so hard that you don't even recognize yourself when you look in the mirror. You will face moments where the enemy whispers in your ear, it's over, you're finished, you'll never get up again. But I came here today to declare that setback is not the end of your story. Oh no, it's not a tombstone, it's a turning point. What the enemy meant for evil, God is about to flip for your good. That closed door. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. That delay, it wasn't denial, it was divine preparation. You see, the reason you're under pressure is because is getting ready to release the oil in you. He's stretching you, shaking you, molding you because he knows there's a BREAKTHROUG on the other side of this battle. So don't quit. Don't curse the storm. Don't let the tears fool you into thinking you're losing. You're just in the middle of a setup, and when God finishes what he started, somebody better ready your setback will be the launch pad that catapults you into your breakthrough when you find yourself in a season where everything feels like it's falling apart. It's easy to believe that the pain you're experiencing is a life sentence. The job you lost, the relationship that crumbled, and the dream that slipped through your fingers, each one can feel like a verdict that says, this is it for you. This is the end of the road. But that is the lie setbacks try to make you believe. A setback is not a final destination. It's a detour, a recalibration, a divine redirection towards something greater than you imagined. The very moment that looks like the end of your journey may, and in fact, be the beginning of a new chapter that you could not have written on your own. Think about the times in life when you were forced out of comfort zones you would never have left willingly. You might have been secure, even happy, but not necessarily growing. Then something came along that pushed you out hard. At the moment, it felt like punishment, but later you could see it was preparation. The setback served a purpose. It moved you into alignment with an opportunity, a relationship, or a path that would have been impossible if you had stayed where you were. That's how life works when you choose to see beyond the immediate pain and into the long-term promise. Every major breakthrough in history and in personal lives has been preceded by a moment that felt like failure. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is perspective. People who understand that setbacks are steps choose not to sit in the ashes and weep forever. They wipe their tears, they get up, and they look for the lesson hidden in the loss. They begin to ask, what is this moment preparing me for? Instead of, why is this happening to me? That single shift in mindset transforms despair into determination. Even when the ground beneath your feet feels like it's crumbling, you have to remember that the foundation for your next season is being laid in the rubble of your last one. That the rejection you faced might be the very thing that protects you from entering a place that could have destroyed you. The door that slammed in your face might be saving you for one that will open onto a much larger stage. The silence you're enduring may be the quiet, before an explosion of opportunity. And the tears you cry now may be watering the soil for a harvest you can't yet see. Your current setback is not a sentence that defines the rest of your life. It is a setup, a positioning, a strategic move in a plan much bigger than the moment you are living in right now. It may hurt, it may confuse you, it may even break pieces of you, but those pieces are not wasted. They are being rearranged into something far stronger, far more resilient, and far more prepared for the breakthrough ahead. When the things you've been praying for don't arrive on your timeline, the human tendency is to assume you've been ignored, overlooked, or even abandoned. You see others getting their breakthroughs, celebrating their promotions, walking into answered prayers, and you're left wondering why you're still standing in the same place. That's when frustration whispers that the delay must be a sign that it's never gonna happen for you. But what you have to understand is that delay is not denial. And delay is often a necessary stage in the preparation process, a space where you are being developed for the very thing you've been asking for. Sometimes the delay is for your protection. You might think you're ready, but there are dangers, obstacles, or challenges ahead that you can't see yet. If you step into that blessing too soon, it might overwhelm you, or worse, destroy what you've built so far. In the moment, waiting feels like punishment, but in reality, it's strategy. It's like a master builder refusing to hand over the keys to a house until the foundation is secure. Without that foundation, the walls would crumble under pressure. In the same way, life holds you back until your foundation, your character, your skills, your wisdom is ready to support the weight of your breakthrough. There are also times when the delay is about the preparation of the blessing itself. Some doors take longer to open because what's on the other side isn't ready yet. The people you need to meet, the resources you'll require, the opportunities that will connect or next to your next season, these may still be aligning. It's like a farmer planting seeds and then expecting to harvest the next day. Nature doesn't work that way, and neither does destiny. There's a time for sowing and a time for reaping, and between them is the period where roots grow deep beneath the surface. Unseen but essential. In the delay, you have the chance to grow into the person who can handle the thing you've been dreaming of. That many people ask for success, but haven't yet developed the endurance to sustain it. They ask for love, but haven't yet healed from what broke them before. They ask for influence, but lack the integrity to handle the responsibility that comes with it. Delay gives you the gift of becoming so that when the opportunity arrives, you don't sabotage it with unprepared hands. If you could see the full picture from the vantage point of the one who orchestrates it all, you would understand that the pause is not a punishment, but a promise in disguise. The waiting room is not a place of abandonment. It is a place of equipping. And the moment the preparation is complete, what once felt like a long, agonizing delay will suddenly unfold as a perfectly timed release that makes you realize you were never being denied at all. When you start feeling the weight of the world pressing down on you, it's easy to assume something has gone wrong. Pressure has a way of making you question yourself, your choices, and sometimes even your purpose. You wonder why the struggle is so intense and why the road feels so narrow and why the load on your shoulders keeps getting heavier. But what many don't realize is that pressure is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that something inside you is valuable. Nobody puts pressure on something that doesn't have worth. Diamonds are created under extreme pressure. Gold is refined in the hottest fire. Greatness is shaped in the most intense seasons. Pressure shows up when purpose is present because purpose attracts resistance. The moment you step into who you are meant to be, forces, both internal and external, will push against you. This isn't to break you, but to strengthen you. Just as a seed must be buried in the dark and pressed down by soil before it can break open and grow, you too must endure a season where the weight seems unbearable. That weight is building the resilience you'll need for what's coming next. Without the pressing, the potential inside you remains locked away, never fully activated. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary can point to a season of intense pressure that shaped them. It's in those moments you discover the hidden parts of yourself. The courage you didn't know you had, the endurance you never thought you could muster, the creativity that only came alive when every other option failed. Pressure forces you to dig deeper, to push harder, and to rely on strength beyond your own. It strips away the unnecessary and sharpens your focus on what truly matters. Sometimes the pressure is not just about preparing you, but about protecting what's in you. If your purpose was released too easily, without resistance, it might be taken lightly by others or even by you. The very struggle that frustrates you today is ensuring that when you finally walk in your calling, you'll value it enough to guard it fiercely. You'll carry it with humility because you know what it cost you to get there. Pressure also has a way of revealing whether you're building on the right foundation. If the weight you're feeling causes everything to collapse, maybe it's not an attack, it's a revelation that something needed to be rebuilt. In that way, pressure becomes a gift because it exposes weaknesses before they can sabotage your future. So when the pressure mounts and the temptation to quit starts creeping in, and remember that it's not there to destroy you. It's a sign that you're close to something significant, that your purpose is too great to come without a fight. The very fact that you feel pressed means there is something inside you worth protecting, refining, and releasing. There are moments in life when you feel like something inside you has been shattered beyond repair. A dream you nurtured for years collapses in a single conversation. A relationship you thought would last forever crumbles without warning. An opportunity you worked tirelessly for slips through your fingers, leaving you with nothing but the fragments of what could have been. In those moments, it's natural to see the breaking as the end of the story. But what if the breaking isn't meant to destroy you? What if the very thing that broke you is the thing that's building you? When something breaks, it forces you to confront parts of yourself you might have ignored when everything was comfortable Pain has a way of stripping away illusions, revealing your deepest strengths and your true priorities. It pulls away the layers you've been hiding behind and forces you to face the raw, unfiltered version of yourself. And while that process hurts, it also makes you stronger, sharper, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Think of a seed again. Before it can become a tree, it has to break open. From the outside, it looks like destruction, but inside, it's the beginning of life. The breaking allows what's inside to emerge. In the same way, your heartbreak, your disappointment, your loss, these can all be the breaking points that release the version of you that was always meant to step into your future. Without the breaking, you might have stayed small, safe, and stagnant. The breaking also teaches you endurance. Once you've been through a season where everything fell apart and you still survived, you carry a confidence into the next season that nothing can take away. You begin to realize that the things you feared the most are not as powerful as you thought. You've faced loss and found a way to keep going. You've been hurt and learned to heal. You've been knocked down and discovered how to rise again. That resilience becomes one of your greatest assets, giving you the courage to take risks and the strength to keep moving forward. In time, you may even come to see the breaking as a blessing in disguise. It may have ended one chapter, but it also cleared the way for a better one to begin. It may have taken away something you loved, but it replaced it with something you needed. It may have made you feel weaker in the moment, but it ultimately revealed a strength you didn't know you possessed. What broke you is not a sign that you are fragile or defeated. It is the evidence that you have been stretched, shaped, and prepared for something greater than what you lost. You are not defined by the breaking. You are refined by it. And while the cracks may still be visible, they tell a story of survival, transformation, and the building of a person who can handle far more than they ever imagined. Comfort zones feel safe, familiar, and predictable. They're the places where you know the rules, understand the boundaries, and can navigate without much thought. But as reassuring as they are, comfort zones are also limiting. They quietly convince you to settle for less than what you're capable of, to avoid risk, and to stay where you are rather than step into the unknown. The problem is no real breakthrough has ever happened inside a comfort zone. Growth demands movement, and movement often means leaving behind the safety of what you know for the uncertainty of what you don't. As stepping out of your comfort zone can feel like walking into a storm without an umbrella. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, and the fear of the unfamiliar are all scream at you to turn back. Yeah, it's precisely in that uncomfortable space where transformation takes place. When you face challenges that stretch you beyond your current abilities, you develop new skills, discover hidden strengths, and gain a resilience that cannot be built in the safety of routine. Consider the way a bird teaches its young to fly. At some point, the parent nudges the chick out of the nest, not to be cruel, but to force it to discover that it was made to soar. If the bird stayed in the nest, it might remain comfortable, but it would never experience the vast skies it was created for. In the same way, you were not designed to stay where it's safe forever. The discomfort you feel when stepping into new territory is proof that you are on the edge of something greater. Breaking out of your comfort zone also shifts your perspective. The challenges you face outside that familiar space show you what's possible, and they shatter the limitations you once believed about yourself. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable simply because you dared to try. You learn that fear is not a wall, but a doorway, and the more you walk through it, the less power it holds over you. There will be moments when stepping into the unknown doesn't immediately feel like a breakthrough. In fact, it may feel like a setback at first. You may stumble, make mistakes, or even fail entirely, but each step outside your comfort zone builds a foundation for success that can't be replicated in safe spaces. Those missteps become lessons, and those lessons become the wisdom that guides you to your breakthrough. The truth is that breakthroughs often require breaking patterns, habits of thinking, ways of acting, and environments that have kept you in place for too long. And that process isn't easy, but it's necessary. The very discomfort you're trying to avoid may be the exact catalyst you need to step into your next season of success. And once you've crossed that threshold, you'll look back and realize that the life you truly wanted was never inside your comfort zone. It was always waiting for you just beyond it.